So I'm Robin Jeep. I'm Chef Robin Jeep. I'm a nutritional chef. I'm also a certified nutritional educational trainer, and so I kind of juggle a lot of different things. So I teach this nutrition course, and then I'm also overseeing all of the preparation of our Clean Eats meals to go, which is what we're talking about right now. So we'll continue talking about this. Okay, so if you'll call tomorrow, call Brooke, and if you can come in, even better, and fill out, because you can do it over the phone, but it's better if you come in, fill out all what you, because we have to know some specifics.
Like our sensitivity.
Yeah, but the sensitivity is how we're doing it. If you're sensitive, if you have a 2 or a 3, you don't get it. You won't have any food with that. But if you have a 1, it's rotated every 4 days, because runs are not that big a deal. So do any of you all have a sensitivity to salad, lettuce? But you're, I think it's a 1. I think I've seen yours. So what I'm doing is I'm just rotating the different types of lettuces and salads, so you won't get the same, you're not supposed to get the same thing twice. I mean, if for 4 days. But as I said, we're working this out, and you know, there may be a few slip-ups. But I think we've got, I think we're doing all right with it, because I do romaine and leaf. But anyway, tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be really going through the practical application of this, how to do this, how to make your meal plans. It's going to help you so much by getting the meals to go, because you're going to be eating it, you're going to be seeing how it looks. So in a minute, we're going to go over those plates that you have right there, your little diagrams. But there are just a few other things I want to go through here on the PowerPoint. There it goes. Okay, so this is antioxidant shopping and cooking instructions. So we've got a kitchen makeover, restocking, food preparation, choosing your meal plan, and traveling and dining out antioxidant style. And I say antioxidant style because that's the title of my book. So when I created these PowerPoints, it was based on the book. But it's more than antioxidants. So these are some necessary utensils that I highly recommend. And you should have this stuff in the book.
It is.
Okay.
It's in the book.
And I just want to say something about juicing. Juicing is really good for you. Juicing is a supplement. There's a difference between juicing and blending. Blending is when you make smoothies. All the fiber, you get the whole food in there. But juicing, it goes straight into your bloodstream. Now, if you have, if you put anything sweet in there, like an apple or orange or something to make it taste sweeter, the juice, you know, with all your vegetables. If you're diabetic, you really can't add the fruit, but everybody else can. So juicing greens and cabbage, and especially if somebody has reflux, if you have any issues with the esophagus, these cruciferous vegetables are really good because they really combat H. pylori, which causes a lot of ulcers and esophageal issues. And we all have H. pylori in our system, but it's when it gets out of balance and out of control. It's a bacteria. So the cruciferous juicing really helps that a lot. So that's why I just want to explain, you know, why you want to have a juicer. And then you just get so many nutrients, because you can juice, you can get a lot more nutrition from the plants than you could eat. You just can't eat that much of all this fiber-rich food. You're already getting a lot. And then I put the blender, a Vitamix or a Blendtec blender. Vitamix, you can get the best deal at Williams-Sonoma. And a Blendtec's a little less expensive. You can get that at Bed Bath & Beyond. But this is a very powerful blender. That's how I make all these little sauces and dressings and things that you get that have sunflower seeds in them and stuff, and they're just these creamy dressings. It's very hard to get something so creamy in a regular blender. But the Vitamix or the Blendtec will really do it, and they're just fantastic things to have. It's worth the investment. They are several $100s. I think the least expensive Vitamix at Williams-Sonoma is $435, and I think you can get a Blendtec for $200 and something at Bed Bath & Beyond. But don't get your Vitamix at Bed Bath & Beyond. You'll get a better deal at Williams-Sonoma. And then I'm going to show, the next slide is going to just show you some different pots and pans and things to use. I don't really use a steamer anymore. I used to, but I just put I'll use a skillet and put all my vegetables in there, kind of according to if I know something takes longer, like sweet potatoes, I'd throw in first sweet potatoes and kale, and then after that I'd throw in my squash and my broccoli together, and I just steam it with the water in the bottom of the pan, and then I just, use that water with my veggies. And so pressure cooker is good if you're in a hurry, you want to get beans done quickly. Always get a stainless steel pressure cooker. That over there is a picture of the Jack LaLanne juicer, which is the least expensive, and it's quite good. That's a centrifugal force juicer. A lot of people will swear by the masticating juicer, saying you get more nutrients. It's a lot more expensive. It's a lot more to deal with. It's a lot more to clean up. You get a lot of nutrients from the centrifugal force juicer, which a Jack LaLanne is. There's a wok. Using stainless steel cookware, you really don't want coated pans. You want stainless steel or enamel covered pans like the Le Creuset. And they're a good knife, garlic press. That's a microplane. That's a real fine grater. And then that over there with that looks like a wok with a handle. That's just a good vegetable pan. You can cook a lot of vegetables in that. And then you don't have to live in the kitchen to prepare this food. You really don't. Also, you want to eliminate temptation to eat unhealthy food. It's really important that you have plenty of super antioxidant food on hand, ready to go. That means you've got to get rid of the junk food, sweets, processed foods, salt-laden foods, and anything that's not on the program. You need to get it out of your house, unless, of course, you live with somebody who eats that and they don't want to change. Then what I recommend is that you do separate shelves. So you won't need as much room in the pantry, and you label your shelf. That's my stuff. So then whenever they go in there, they have to see your healthy stuff and see their junk. And then you do the same thing in the refrigerator. This is your shelf, and this is my shelf, and you just don't even see their shelves. You don't look at it, you just go to your shelf and get your stuff. But it is really important that you have food prepared, that you have fruit to eat, that you have some raw vegetables, that you have hummus, that you have some soup, that you have these things that you can just grab when you get hungry. Because if you don't, especially if you're out in your car, if you don't have those things, you will be tempted to stop at a fast food place. So I have, for example, my bag of food. And you can also get those little insulated bags about this size. So you just always carry it around with you. You've always got something to eat. It's really important. And then you really only need to shop twice a week. You can purchase freezer and pantry items like once a month. And then you should only have to spend about 30 to 40 minutes shopping, and especially that's one of the reasons that Rebecca's taken you all on a shopping trip. I've taken you on a shopping trip. You now kind of know where stuff is. So you don't need to go look. You can go straight to it and get out of there. And you shop around the perimeter of the store. And the junk foods are usually in the center of the store. And you always want to read the labels. If you're doing anything packaged, it's very important to read the labels. And you'll get used to it where you can just scan it. You can just see, boom, 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 boom. Nope, I don't want that. Or, yeah, that's okay. And so to avoid temptation, stay away from the center of the store. And you'll spend most of your time in the kind of the health food section and the produce section. So then I've gone over that, cleaning up and the separate shelves, things off limits. And then you want to restock your dried goods. And here, back then, soy milk and whole soybeans like tofu or tempeh or canned soybeans, they are not bad for you, and they do not raise the studies have found they do not raise your estrogen levels. Actually, but now I'm not talking about soy protein that's in a protein drink, or it's isolated soy. That is very unhealthy. But whole soy foods, you can have it as much as once a week if you wanted, unless you have a soy sensitivity. But soy milk is, of course, I think it tastes the best. I have a soy sensitivity, so I can't have it. But then you want to have spices, herbs and spices, to give your food an interesting flavor. Let me get these things up here that are very good, and a lot of this is in the book. And then to restock your refrigerator and freezer. I mean, it's pretty simple what you're putting in there now. Fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, frozen vegetables, nuts and seeds, your non-dairy milks, and your cheese alternatives. That's kind of what goes in there. And then produce purchasing tips. How many of you all go to the farmer's market? That's that way you get the stuff, it's going to be more nutrient dense because it's just picked right before they sell it. Whereas what you get in the grocery store of the fresh produce has been shipped, and the longer, once it's off its vine or its stalk, it starts immediately losing nutritional value. So you're oftentimes better off eating frozen vegetables than you are all of this stuff that's shipped. Now, we do much better when we get stuff from a distributor. We get at the Clean Eats, we get all of our produce from a distributor. So that stuff's much fresher than what you get from the grocery store because it goes straight from the farm to the warehouse and then to us. And imported fruits and vegetables are usually highly sprayed, fumigated, and more irradiated. Often they're used as a substitute for out-of-season produce. Organic food co-ops, I think we should start a co-op here. And then fruits and vegetables are often waxed to retain moisture. And then I read something today, the agricultural department has approved a new pesticide that's made from the Agent Orange. I mean, there's been a lot of controversy about it. They got, I think, a petition with like over a million names on it asking not to have it approved, and there were 80 senators that were against it, and they went ahead and approved it. So it's now going to go on all the grains that's used to feed the animals. So all the meat, other than organic meat, is going to be fed this grain that has this on it. So, and it's very, very, very toxic stuff. So we're going to be only buying now, or we have to now go to just organic chicken. I was doing up until now, I can do it for a while. It's going to take a while before we get that, but I was doing the antibiotic hormone-free chicken, but now it's going to have to be organic. We already are only doing the pasture-raised beef. So that's just a little bit of news.
Where's the best place to get the organic or pasture grass-fed beef?
Well, one of the best prices is Ranch on the Rock. You can get it at the farmer's market, but
It's called Ranch on the Rock.
Ranch on the Rock, go online. Our chef John lives out there on the ranch. He rents a house out there.
We can find it online.
Yes.
Because there's a guy that comes to the farmer's market, and it's not the lady that's over here on
Yes.
the side, but the one that's over on the side by the bank.
Yes, that's the
Okay,
one I bought.
That's the one that Chuck and I really like.
Okay.
We like that one, and we've bought several times. Plus, his prices aren't as outrageous.
Yes,
as
as
the one
yes.
that's over there by the.
I know
on
which
the
one
other
you're
side,
talking
you know what
about.
I'm saying? That whoever that is, their prices are a lot higher. And Chuck and I've bought from the other guy, and we really like the beef. It's really got.
I bought. That's
really
what we
good.
had. Did you all come for the buffet when we had the beef bourguignon?
No, I didn't. because
Well,
I
that
had
beef
something
was
else
from
in mind.
him, and it just melted in your mouth.
He's on
Oh,
the
his
RMF
beef is
thing?
so good.
He's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he's the one by the Arvest Bank. He's on that side. And his beef is good, and it's gonna be more than what's in the grocery store, but it's still,
No,
no.
I think it's $4.99 or something probably
Yeah,
for a
something
hamburger.
like that.
Okay, so here's your weekly shopping list: vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, and seasonings. Starchy vegetables, nuts, seeds, and nut seed butters, whatever you drink, legumes and tofu if you eat that, whole grains, your animal products, and any of your staples. So you could make a list that just has vegetables, where you have the headings, and just fill it out. And then being prepared. So what I always recommend is that you have a whole meal soup or stew, and those of you you've now had some of the soups that we do. You all can make those very easily. I've shown you in the cooking class how to make one that was very simple. And And so you can make that once or twice every 10 days and freeze some of it. Raw vegetable salads, cooked veggies, and the recommended 4 to 5 fruits a day. And always have healthy prepared foods on hand. I cannot emphasize that enough. Because, I mean, how many of you all know what it's like? You're out in your car, you're starving. You know? Yep.
So good.
I know. I mean, you're going to, and so right now when you're trying to overcome so much, you really need to prepare yourself. And next week we're going to really go into some of that, we're going to watch a movie that's really good about that sort of thing.
Those veggie soups, how long, I mean, I made a huge batch, just like the one that you made last week.
Yes?
And I used vegetable stock instead of chicken stock.
Yes?
So how long, is that good for like a week
A
in
week.
the fridge?
A week in the fridge and then freeze it.
Okay.
And I'd freeze it in 2-portion servings so you don't have to take,
Because I made a huge
Yeah.
batch. I've been eating it all week, and my husband's been eating it all week, and we still have like,
But isn't it amazing how you like, it's like it's just something that your body just really
you
appreciates it.
almost crave it.
Yes.
I had it for breakfast one day.
Yes.
I had it for a snack because I was starving and I didn't feel like making dinner. I just pulled it out. It was great.
I know, and it's so satisfying. You know that once you eat that, you're going to be completely satisfied.
And even just to change it up a little bit when you're eating on the same batch.
Yes?
Throw some extra herbs and spices. And, like I put curry powder. in
Yes,
one day.
exactly.
I put extra cinnamon and nutmeg another day. My husband likes sriracha, so he just like put sriracha
Yes.
in his and made it hot one day.
And you can
Just so it doesn't taste the same every single.
you can puree it and turn it into a cream soup and add some like sunflower seeds or cashews to it and make it creamy. And you can curry powder and or whatever seasonings you want, and then it's a whole different soup. And then you can also do that with part of it, and then you mix the chunky part with the creamed part, and you've got a creamy chunky soup. So carry cut up raw vegetables and fruits with you at all times. They prepare foods in quantity and freeze it, eat it during the week. And use frozen fruits and vegetables for convenience. Now, I'm going to talk about acrylamide. This is a dangerous, when you brown food, that browning, when you brown starches, that browning is called acrylamide. And it's a very, very dangerous substance. I'm going to show you what the government says about it. And heating olive and vegetable oils to high temperatures causes the oils to change as well. So acrylamide is a natural byproduct in carbohydrate-rich foods, and it forms when these foods are fried, baked, roasted at high temperatures. Cereals, like Rice Krispies or Corn Flakes, they've all been roasted till they're golden. Acrylamide is known to cause, and it says, now that this is a government thing, the Department of Food Science and Human Nutrition says cause. When they say cause, usually they have to correlate, link. They seldom, a lot of times in science you won't hear a cause because it's got to be really proven. Here it says, to date, acrylamide is known to cause cancer and reproductive problems in animals at high doses and is a neurotoxin in humans at high doses. Okay, now that is high doses. So as I said, when you eat all these plant foods and stuff, your body's dealing with stuff like that. So it would have to be like eating a lot of it. And barbecue is also smoked food, is some of the most carcinogenic food, and especially nitrates. Nitrates in any lunch meat. You need to buy lunch meats that don't have any nitrates in them. And you can. Boar's Head, I think, makes some. So here are just some French fries, potato chips, breakfast cereals, cookies, brewed coffee, which is interesting, toast pies and cakes, crackers, soft bread, chili con carne, corn snacks, popcorn, pretzels, pizza burrito, tostada, peanut butter, breaded chicken, bagels, and soup mix. So these are things that have roasted stuff in them. So what you want to do is you want to cook a lot of your food, steam it and cook it with water, with moisture. And then if you have a grilled chicken breast, or you have some things, or you roast some, because sometimes we roast potatoes and roast vegetables. So it's not like don't ever have it. You can be paranoid and do that too, but it's just be aware. Okay, so nutrient saving preparation. Steam sautéing, that's where you can use a little water and just keep sauteing your vegetables. If you use just a little oil and a little water, and it'll steam it. That's actually how the Chinese do it. When they stir fry, they don't just do it in oil. They always add broth or something and cover it on a high heat and then flip it around and cover it. And that's why a lot of people who try to stir fry, they'll just do it with oil and they don't understand why they can't get their vegetables at all tender. Simmer cooking, steaming, and blending. And blending, when you blend, if you eat a salad, you're going to get about 15 to 35% of the nutrients. If you blend it, you break open the cell walls and you get like 85 to 95% of the nutrients in your bloodstream. So blending is like these smoothies and stuff where you put the greens in there. That is a great way to get your nutrition into you. And then you want to just increase your antioxidant power. I haven't been able to show you goji berries. Is anybody familiar with goji berries?
They're kind of chewy. They look kind of like a pinkish, reddish, orange kind of raisin.
Yes, they do. They're kind of the color of your shirt, a little bit darker.
They're kind of like chomping on the leather or something.
But they're sweet.
Yeah.
They are sweet and they're very high in antioxidants, carotenoid antioxidants. And they're good in it if you want to make a mix of like nuts and put some goji berries in there, kind of a snack mix. They're great.
Just don't expect them to be soft and squishy.
Where do you get them?
I bought them online.
Oh,
There's a company that has some nuts and herbs, and I actually found this company because I was looking for spirulina and chlorella
Yes.
powders for smoothies. It's called nuts.com, and they have very good products, guaranteed products, very fast shipping. The prices were very reasonable, and that's where I found the goji berries.
nuts.com. Well, I know Aikens used to carry them. They want to carry them, but they keep ordering them. They don't get shipped. They only have the chocolate-covered goji berries.
If you have it in liquid form, is that still good?
Does it have the fiber in it, or is it just the juice?
Probably.
It's better for you to have the actual berry, and it's great to throw them in a smoothie. But the juice is, you're going to get some of the nutrition from it. But anything's better in the whole form. If you take the whole form and you blend it, that's the best for getting the nutrition into you. And like with these soups and stuff, you can add finely shredded vegetables to it, and you can add like goji berries to any dish. You can do fresh vegetable juices like carrot juice. Some of my recipes call for carrot juice instead of water, and that makes it extra rich. And you can also buy carrot juice and just dump it in there. And add when you're blending the soups, like you want to change your soup up, you can throw some spinach or some kale in there and blend it. And you can just add it raw if you have no problem with raw. Okay, so the next, what we're going to talk about is traveling. One of the things that I've traveled with Dr. Furman, and what we always did was we would book a room with a refrigerator. A lot of hotel rooms have a little bar refrigerator in them, and I'll just pull stuff out and put my things in there. And I'll get things like, salad mix and spinach and things like that, and I buy canned beans, and I have fruit in the room, and nuts and seeds. That way, you have some substantial stuff in your room to eat. You always have a can opener, and you can eat the beans and some of these things and fill up on it, and then you can go out to dinner and get steamed vegetables. Sometimes you can go there, your places where you can get stuff, but that way you always have the food and you're not hungry. Then you don't go starving to some restaurant and there you have it. Then you're tempted to eat something that wouldn't be good for you. And also, when you're going to go to a party, this is very important. When you go to a party, eat before you go. Eat a big bowl of like that soup, fill up on some very filling stuff that has some beans in it, and then go to the party, and then you won't be as tempted to eat all the food at the party. You'll be more focused on the people there to visit with the people. And then these are just the options. I don't think we need to go through all that. That's in the book. think we're going to get to the. Okay, so now this is what you have over here on your little thing. One is that is the one that has animal protein. So it's just kind of showing you what your plate will look like. Isn't that what your plate looks like when you get clean eats? That bowl? It's got the beans, the legumes. It's got the starchy vegetable, if you're not on a diabetic or rapid weight loss plan. Leafy greens or cruciferous greens. Non-starchy vegetables. And then your animal product. When you get your clean eats bowl, the hot meal, that's what's going to be on it. And then the vegan one, which every Thursday is vegan day. The vegan one, you just get larger portions. Or this is what, and also the people who are on the cardio, and the cardio one get, they get that one, the vegan one, cardio and cancer defense. So what I want to do now is, let's see what time it is I want to just kind of go over what everybody's eating, because we're wanting to see what the class I had on Friday. We did this, and 100% of the people in the classroom were eating this way, 100%, and they weren't. And this was before they were getting clean eats. I was really impressed. So I just kind of want to go around the room, and then I ask what you eat for breakfast. Everybody, so do you want to start with breakfast?
I have a protein shake and fruit, usually strawberries or blueberries. Usually is my fruit. Once in a while I'll have a half an apple with it, but I have to watch that real close.
So you have a protein shake.
Protein
Is that
shake.
the one that Tammy, that
That's
doctor?
the one, no, because I can't have the pea
Okay.
protein. That's the one that you and I.
Okay, good.
The rice protein.
Yes.
From Aikens.
Yes, and does that have greens in it, or is just rice protein?
I don't remember. It's got.
I think if I were you, I would add some just organic baby spinach to it, which you won't taste. So we'll put some spinach in there. Or you can do kale. You want to change it up. Okay. Breakfast.
I have oatmeal and seafood.
And fruit? Okay, do you have that like every day, pretty much?
Much.
Okay.
We do the same thing.
Okay.
So
We have a chicken or turkey burger.
we
And
don't buy, it's just the meat.
the cooked vegetables, like carrots, broccoli.
Uh-huh.
cauliflower.
And do you have that every morning?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Why?
No, we're just asking.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Oh, yeah, the
clear
clear bite too, we do that.
Okay.
We sometimes have the fresh fruit. Right, we haven't had any the last couple of weeks. But you usually have the blueberries and the strawberries, but the problem is that the strawberries right now are kind of.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not a to just eat.
Yes, right.
And smoothies are,
Yes, I understand.
oh, and we do almond milk with the clear bite.
Okay.
I don't like it just with water. That's up with mine.
When a,
One up.
Oh,
Sorry, that was his. That's one, that's ours.
the unsweetened.
okay. Okay.
Okay, I have a smoothie which is flaxseed, hemp seed, kale, and strawberry blueberry. Huh? I said strawberry blueberry.
That's good. Don't you get hooked on those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once when when I do get oatmeal, I will do it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I don't have the same thing every day. I kind of alternate.
Mm-hmm.
About twice a week, I will treat myself to some scrambled eggs. And if I do, I put tons of veggies in them, so I pretend like it's an omelet, but it's not.
Okay.
On days that I have that, I make sure I also have fresh fruit. Some mornings I have had a turkey bread. I basically make my own turkey sausage patties.
Yes.
And I just start with ground turkey and spice it up because I don't know what's in the ones you can buy. So I just make my own breakfast turkey, ground turkey patties.
Okay.
And I also will quite often include a fruit smoothie. But for me, I usually just stick to blueberries, and I always put fresh spinach, always put fresh kale.
Good.
And then I just make a batch of the powder, and I just put a scoop of that, and it's got maca protein
Yes.
in it. And then it's got the spirulina and the chlorella algae powders. And that's pretty much, it's usually just blueberries and the greens and that powder.
Okay.
Every so often, if I have raspberries or something, I'll throw them in there.
That's great.
This week I've been doing scrambled eggs and banana.
Okay. Do you ever do other things?
I tried the oatmeal. I just
Have you done the smoothies?
no, because I'm scared.
What are you scared
I
of?
don't know, but I'll yeah.
That what?
If it'll taste. Yeah, if it'll taste good. Probably. So I feel like I'm wasting it.
Do you like fruit?
But I like fruit.
Then you can just make it with frozen fruit, a banana, and do you like the almond milk?
Yeah.
And some almond milk. And if you put some spinach in there, you will not taste it because the fruit overpowers the spinach because it's very mild.
Spinach is very mild anyways. I mean,
Yes.
I love spinach. I eat it, I don't like it cooked particularly unless it's in a soup or something, but I love it raw.
I do too.
Love it raw.
So you can, my book has a lot of smoothie recipes in it.
Okay.
There's several to pick from. But I think you'll like a smoothie. I think you'll probably get hooked on a smoothie. Okay?
It's amazing how you actually, if you have a smoothie, like within the next hour or so, you're like, okay, I'm awake. It's better than any coffee I've ever had. Yeah, you can feel, and I don't know why, but I swear the whites of my eyes are whiter when I'm having it.
But you're getting all that nutrition.
Yeah, it's just like,
Start
And-
off with the fruit and just throw a little other stuff in it later.
See, scientific studies validate and show that the more fruits and vegetables you eat, it's proportionate to how your body's ability to heal itself. Because see, our body is a self-repairing machine. So it will heal itself, but see, we're designed to eat lots and lots of fruits and vegetables. That's supposed to be our primary food. Everything else is supplemental. So I'm just looking at all of this and seeing this is very good. Some of the things that I would probably correct is not to have eggs every day. Probably just pick an egg breakfast once a week, and that meaning eggs or even an animal product breakfast once a week. So I would cut back on your what are they, turkey patties or
Chicken or turkey?
chicken or turkey patties. I would just do that once a week, and then you can do all the vegetables you want, and the smoothies or no, neither of you are diabetic, right? So yeah, so you can do smoothies. Do you ever eat oatmeal? You don't like it?
He is an oats,
Oh yes.
and I can't stand
Eat that
oatmeal.
rice.
Well, you don't need to eat oatmeal. You do not need to eat oatmeal. I'm just going to tell you that. You don't need it.
I don't like it, and he can't.
Yeah.
because of his
it's not a necessary thing. But there is a recipe that I got from somebody that who is a diabetic, and he made a recipe, and I'll print it out. And it's a cereal he makes, but it's just made with flax and some other things. There's no, yeah, it's.
Print it out because
I will.
I'll look at it and try it because I'm borderline and I'm trying to keep all that down so that
Let
my
me just see if I
insulin
can
count won't come down.
pull it up right here. Maybe I can just pull it right up. And I'll show it to you. I can actually print it out. Now, I did not get the exact measurements, so you're going to have to play with it. But it's Roy Master's low glycemic porridge.
Oh. I bought up until then, I bought the white, and I think that mixed quinoa.
Oh, I like
better
that.
than the
Yeah, I
white.
do too. I think
And
it's.
I want to know how exactly you made that, because I'd like to.
Was that the one
experiment.
that was the one that came from, that I had from the Clean Eats? Was it?
It was, at the class last
Yeah,
Thursday night.
Okay,
she made
yeah.
out at Trish's.
Yes, I didn't, I mean the one I made in the little pot.
Yes.
See, I had two. There was one on the table, which I brought from the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
That was in a white bowl, and then I had the one I made on the pot, in the little
Okay,
pot.
The one that I had was out of the great big
Okay.
white bowl.
That was made with wine. I used like about half a cup of wine. Like if you do one in, I do like 1 cup of quinoa
That's what I do.
to about 1 and 2/3 cups of water. So I probably did.
I do it 1.5 cups to 1 cup is what I do.
Okay,
I
then-
mean, that's what
Then do
my
about
recipe
a half a cup of wine. And
Okay.
sherry's real good too. And I put raisins in there.
said. Yeah,
and-
that's what
and
it
the-
was.
And
And,
green onions too, scallions.
And yes. What else? I don't remember what all was in there.
see, I don't remember, but I'm telling you, that was, and did you use chicken, you just used the wine, not the chicken
I may
stock?
have used some vegetable stock.
Okay. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it was,
Was there any cinnamon in it?
I don't know.
There was a
was
touch
there?
of cinnamon in it,
Okay.
and and some nutmeg. You did?
Oh, I like the kale, the one that you squeeze.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one I really like.
Has-
And then you put the avocado.
You put
Yeah.
now you just did avocados and kale, right?
I did a little, like a teaspoon of olive oil, because when I was breaking it down,
'Cause
breaking
you
that
used
kale
olive
down,
oil and-
a little salt, a little tiny bit of salt, a little bit of, I break it down first. I get it broken
Right,
down
yeah.
somewhat. Then I add just about a teaspoon of olive oil for that, all that. I mean, that was a fair amount. And then just a tiny bit of salt, because when it shrinks down so much it gets salty. And then I work it and work it and work it until it's really broken down.
Oh, it was,
And then I add the avocado in and massage that avocado into it.
that was.
And there was some thin sliced red onion.
Oh yeah, thin slice of red onion, and I did a little bit of garlic, a pressed garlic in there.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but I thought you
Didn't
put
you
some
put a
of
dressing on it?
some of that dressing that, I
No,
thought you poured just a little bit
No.
of the dressing in
no,
it.
you didn't put
Well,
the
you put the
dressing in it.
dressing on.
I did.
That was on the tossed salad.
That
No,
was
I
on the
didn't.
tossed
No,
salad.
I didn't.
You
I
didn't
don't-
put any dressing.
But just a little bit.
I may have at the end. I may have thrown a
That's-
little bit in
We
there.
had it with the
Okay.
dressing on it, and
Okay.
I liked it with dressing.
And see, I just ate it just the way you made it.
And all that stuff's good for you. What? And I threw some pecans in there
Oh.
that you could pick out because they were whole. I mean, some people have sensitivities.
Yeah,
And,
that was funny.
so, okay, this is breakfast. Now we got to go on to lunch and dinner. But everybody, this is really good. I mean, I just am so happy to see people getting this. Okay, now we'll go to lunch.
Well, I've been eating the roasted vegetables a lot this week because I made 2 great big cookie sheets of roasted vegetables for
Yes.
the night, so that because I have to take my lunch.
Right.
Because if I don't, I can't eat what the kids eat.
Uh-huh.
at school, Okay. And then I've been also taking a chicken breast.
Yes.
And I do it myself, and have that in the roasted vegetables, what I've had all week.
Now, how much of the chicken breast do you eat?
I eat about, well, I cut it in half. Those
Uh-huh.
chicken breasts are probably, they're really good size, so they're probably 5 or 6 ounces, so I cut one in half.
Uh-huh, so you're getting about 3 ounces, which is what you...
Probably, but I do that every day.
I would, one of the things I would do is I'd kind of back off on that, and instead of doing that every day, also take, like some beans.
I have taken beans
Uh-huh.
before, but this week I haven't.
Okay.
Now, I also, for a snack, I've been taking celery, and then I buy the sunflower seed butter,
Yes?
and I put that on there.
Uh-huh,
And so that's my snack,
good.
or has been my snack this week. I love it.
Sounds good.
I have to watch. I can gorge myself.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that butter.
Because I really like it. And then I like the sunflower seeds too, a lot. And then I also eat pecans.
How do you spell
Straight-
snack?
S-N-A-C-K.
Oh, I thought that didn't look right.
S-N-A-C-K.
Didn't look right.
That's why we need spell check pins.
Right. Okay, so you have the sunflower.
I do the seeds and the pecans. And I also do Brazil nuts. I kind of alternate between the two because those are the only kind of nuts I can have.
Okay. And then, or nuts. Okay.
Okay. I have the same thing for lunch every day because I take my lunch, otherwise I'll eat bad things.
Yes?
So I just mix up a huge bowl of salad greens, and I put lemon in there,
Uh-huh.
and bell pepper and onions and kale and everything you can think of. Whatever I have in
Yes?
veggies wise in the fridge, and then about every 2 days I have some chicken with that, and some just a vinaigrette, and then usually sunflower seeds or almonds. And I usually take a piece of fruit to have some flavor.
Okay, I want to emphasize beans, because beans
Oh,
are
I
the...
put beans in there too.
Okay,
Black
good.
beans usually.
Great. Because that's what keeps you full.
So I just make this huge big bowl and then
That's-
I portion it out. So it's a big salad.
Great. Oh, look at that smile. Look at those smiles.
We have to eat out quite a bit at lunch because of work.
Yes?
So
That's
We-
why I get this smart.
she always has a salad and I generally have a soup.
And I do, like, usually the lettuce, broccoli, like, the broccoli, the carrots. And then I usually do balsamic vinaigrette dressing.
Okay.
And I stay away from the real cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't have a soup, I'll have the salad.
And he does the same
So-
thing on that, so it just depends.
So are you mainly sticking to, do your soups, like, do they have, what kind of soups do you have?
Well,
Sometimes you can get minestrone,
Yeah.
you've got, sometimes he likes a potato soup that is not.
it's not.
That's once in a while.
Okay.
But normally it's some type of broth soup, but you don't know if, unfortunately, you don't know if it's
Yeah,
what they've done to you.
They use that soup stock, which is so awful, that soup base,
Oh.
which has so many chemicals in it.
Okay. And then, usually we'll have like fried zucchini or broccoli as part of the meal. We usually pick a vegetable.
Is the broccoli fried?
Well, we
No,
have
they
them do.
steam it.
We
But sometimes
have
they'll
them-
have- they'll
we have
fry
them
the
use
zucchini.
You mean saute it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
with
Grill it. so-
Okay.
and then, or a sweet potato.
Okay.
Without the stuff on the sweet potato.
Yeah, just a plain sweet potato.
See, but see how you can, they eat out, so you can see how
And see, I have to eat out almost every.
how they manage to eat, they manage to eat out, pretty much sticking to the plan.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
there's some things like the soup that,
Yes.
there's some things that
Yes.
some days don't fit, but
I would say 90% of the time we can stay on this if
Yeah.
we order right. And then usually we either get chicken or, I like salmon.
Yes.
Like a fish with it.
We have
The
no
only-
seasoning.
And we don't do seasoning
Mhm.
on it, just because I have seasoning sensitivity.
Yes.
And then I ask them to just grill it, usually with no butter, no oil, nothing on it. They look at you like you're crazy, but
Yeah, but
Right.
they'll do, but a lot of the
But they'll
restaurants
do
will
it.
grill it for you.
Right.
they will, and yeah, you just have to ask. Or I'll have them grill it with lemon juice.
Yes.
Like use a little bit of lemon juice. So that's what we've been doing.
And one of the problems with eating out with the fish is they're not doing, most of them
Yes, I
don't,
know, they don't do that.
the wild fish. Some of them do. I mean, some places, I know that Cheddar's for a while did wild salmon,
Yeah.
but I don't know, I don't know if they still
Ruby
do.
Tuesdays does wild.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's one of our go-to restaurants
We go
because
to Ruby
we know,
Tuesday.
we know the manager,
Yes.
we've known him for like 9 years.
Yes?
And he, as soon as they walk in, as soon as we walk in, that he knows. And sometimes he's had to go back to the kitchen and he has actually prepared my food himself until, when he gets new cooks and
And
stuff,
that's,
but he's
we
really
go-
good
yeah,
about
they
that.
were out at, we were there the other day and I
They
wanted
were out.
salmon, they
They
were
were
out
out
of
of
it.
salmon.
Oh, yeah.
But that we usually go to Ruby Tuesday usually at least twice.
Okay, good.
Because we know
Yes.
we can
Yeah,
get, I
because
can
you
get
What you want,
want.
what you,
And
yeah.
they
You
have
know
the
how
salad
it's-
bar, they've got the
The
best salad bar.
salad is fresh.
They've got the best salad bar in town.
Yeah, they do. It's
They
fresh.
really do. And they have, the romaine and the,
Mhm.
and the spinach.
And they have the
and
wild, the
wild-
wild,
the
kind of
wild
greens and they
Yes.
have baby
and stuff,
spinach.
yeah.
Yeah, I have
So
this-
it-
I have the spinach and I put the sunflower seeds
Yeah, he gets those.
and some carrots.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, they have choices there.
Oh,
You
that
just
sounds
have to
good.
Make the right choice.
So is this helpful to everybody to hear this, to learn about?
Sometimes you don't want to eat
Okay, so,
I know.
and there are more restaurants that are picking up on this, that have wild salmon. Okay, so tell me, what about you two?
For lunch, I either have beans with onions or carrots. Sometimes that's for the evening meal, or I'll have a large salad, and I'll have, that's spinach and kale mix.
Yes.
With the skin, and some lettuce, and it'll have onions in it, and have Brussels sprouts. And broccoli, yeah.
Okay.
And I found out the Brussels sprouts are a lot better roasted than they are if you chop them up. They're tough little bit.
Yeah, they are tough. They are. They're awfully good roasted, though.
Roasted, though.
Boy, are they good roasted.
They're really good roasted, because I put some of those in that mixture that I roasted Monday night.
I'm doing the roasted kale this week at Clean Eats in the food, which is, not the roasted kale, the roasted cabbage, which is my favorite. Oh my gosh.
I love cabbage.
Well,
cabbage
roasted,
is
I did it once for the potluck.
Put it on like a tray and stick
Yes,
it
you
in
put
the
it
oven?
Well, no, I cut it, cut it in 6, like in about 8.
Okay.
I quarter it and then eighth it. And then I put some olive oil and pressed garlic in a pan and then a little bit of salt, and I just turn them, gently turn them on this and then lay them all out in the pan and then roast them at like the 400 to 425 oven. And
Now, when you roast them, do you leave the wedges up, or do you like put it?
they're on the side, and then I'll
side?
flip it over. I do flip it over.
For how long do you roast them?
I think they roast, well, it depends if you have a convection oven and everything.
Oh.
But a regular, I've done it in a convection oven, and I think it's about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes to get, because you want them roasty. And you want it high enough that it doesn't overcook them,
Right.
but it gets them roasty. And I've even done it with like some Kalamata olives on it too. Oh, it's awfully good. Maybe I'll do that this week.
Well, see, you did I slice mine first and put it down. So
Yes.
I didn't know, I get it all basically shredded.
Oh, that's
It
how you
doesn't-
roast it?
That's how I've done it. I mean, I don't know if that's the right way to do it.
Well, that
but
means there's no right or wrong way. I mean, that's just another way to do it. This is very
I
pretty
just-
when
I
you do
just
it on
slice
in the.
I do it like I'm shredding it, but I don't do it real fine,
Okay.
and then that's what I've done.
Well, try it both ways.
I grew up eating it that way. That's the way Mother.
She would roast it in the oven?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
My mother's a farm cook. I mean, everything we raised, we ate. Huh?
Yeah, we always had cooked.
We never had roasted
Your
vegetables,
mom
but
was a gourmet cook.
No.
before her
no,
time.
she
But she
just-
didn't know she was.
Yeah, no, it's just something I guess, well, my grandmother always, that's the way she did her cabbage.
Huh.
I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know if we never had boiled cabbage, never.
Yeah, you can. I mean,
And the
yeah, play
first
with
time
it.
The first time I had boiled cabbage, I thought was horrible. And I still to this day don't like boiled cabbage.
Well, yeah, boiled cabbage, if it's overcooked.
I do not
I used to
like
think it
boiled
always
cabbage.
reminded me of the
I do not
smell
like
of a
boiled
nurse. Every
cabbage.
time I would go in a nursing home, it smelled like boiled cabbage when I was a kid.
My mother used to cook cabbage, you just smell it.
Don't like it.
Okay, so that's what you all, is that what both of you have, or?
No.
Okay. Okay,
She just,
Sometimes I'll go get a handful of almond or a pecan
yes.
or a cup full of frozen strawberries out of the refrigerator for a snack late in the evening or late night. I like frozen strawberries.
Okay, well, I'll have like turkey and peas, what do I have in that, cucumbers and, carrot. And then I have the beans and onions and carrots at night. Sometimes I have the cabbage with the beans.
Yeah, I'm now just doing lunch and, kind of lunch and dinner combination.
For snacks, sometimes I have some smoothie left over, I'll have that. Because I never get my smoothies right, I always have too much of it, so then I
Right.
like for the snack, in the morning or evening, or afternoon.
This is, I'm impressed again with this class too. So tell me, and we'll just kind of combine lunch and dinner, what,
I've been eating a whole lot of lentils lately. Lentils are my friend. And I've been sticking all kinds of little veggies and things in there too. I figured out that I don't even have to pre-cook the veggies. Cauliflower, if you just cut it up real super small, just throw it right in there when the lentils are going. I did the same thing with sweet potatoes. Oh my gosh,
That's
was
another
that
thing
delicious.
I have sweet
That'd be
potatoes.
good.
do you know that lentils are the best for you, those legumes? They're the lowest in the starchy carb, highest in protein. They've got a really good amino acid profile. So that is your best, the highest quality legume.
Well, I've been experimenting with those.
Good.
I'll share something in case anybody else does lentils. I didn't know this, but if you put something acidic in with them when you're cooking them, they will take forever.
That's right.
Or
Tomatoes or something, yes.
I made the mistake of, I saw a recipe, and I thought, oh, tamarind, that sounded good to me, so I threw some tamarind paste in the water when they were cooking. Like 2 hours later, they still weren't quite right. My husband was
Yep.
like, what did you do?
Yeah,
It was never-
that's, any beans, it'll happen with
Well,
all beans.
Okay, well, then I will learn to put that in.
You
after.
put that after your beans are cooked, you put your tomatoes in or anything acidic, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, because that was totally new to me. But I've been eating a lot of lentils and veggies. I have been trying to incorporate some beans.
Yes?
But for me, it was easier to throw them like in the big pot of veggie soup.
Yes.
I also eat lunch out quite a bit, but I know what I can pretty much have.
Yes.
In most restaurants, you can get some, plain grilled chicken. I've gone to Mexican and just said, okay, I want chicken fajita soft tacos, no tortilla, because I'm gluten. So,
Yeah.
I will literally
Yeah.
order that and just, not eat the really good Napa chicken and vegetables
Mhm.
on their
Mhm.
Weight Watchers menu.
Mhm.
It's more than, for me, even a big appetite normally, I have half of it. And I'm
And it
full.
is good, because
And
we've
it's
eaten there
got
too.
mushrooms and squash and onions
Mm.
and, it has a lot of mushrooms in it. So squash, zucchini, mushrooms, peppers, onions, chicken.
That's great.
And there's just a few little bites of crispy red potatoes.
Mhm.
They just throw it on there. So I've been eating that a few times lately for lunch. And because if you only need half of it, sometimes, about 4 o'clock, if I'm really hungry, I'll eat the other half
Right.
of it, and I just will snack on something for dinner. For snacks at work, I usually will just have like nuts. I'll have cashews or some kind of deluxe unsalted
Uh-huh.
nuts or almonds, and I will literally count them out. I will count out like 12 cashews.
Okay.
And I will have 15. And as long as I'm drinking enough water, that will usually do me. I just don't eat them with a handful. I will literally count them out and enjoy each one at a time, and that's usually pretty good for some.
Good.
But usually, like I said, going out, I've just had to be, I'm eating a lot of chicken and a lot of extra vegetables. Because I find if I eat lots of veggies, and especially if I have a salad, then I don't need all that meat protein.
Right, right.
I don't crave it, I'm not
Right.
hungry for it, so. that's-
Yeah, it's very satisfying. It satisfies those nutrient receptors and the fiber receptors.
Yeah.
It flips off the hypothalamus. Hunger drive.
So that's pretty much what I eat.
Good.
This week I've been doing bikinis, but like last week I was just mainly doing like salads. and
Yes.
stuff. And like I would get it at Fresh Market
Yes.
and just with no cheese. And then like sometimes at like, we had Colton's last week too, so I had like salmon
Uh-huh.
or something.
Now, are you eating beans or lentils? Okay, well, because if you're not eating your beans and lentils, you do have to have some animal protein every day.
Yeah. Well, the salmon, I've been trying to do like a fish at night and
Mhm.
stuff, so,
But if you eat a lot, because there's protein in all the vegetables and greens. So as long as you eat a lot of greens, and you really ought to try some lentils. Well, you're getting some beans and lentils and stuff with us. Are you eating them on your clean eats?
my husband is.
Well, why don't you try taking a bite?
Well,
But I mean, just do it every day you get it. Just take a bite, and then give him the rest, and then you'll start acquiring a taste. So do you eat any of the soups?
oh, let me tell you, the soups have been fabulous.
Well, the soups have beans in them.
Oh,
They have
the
beans.
cauliflower stuff? Has anybody else had it? Oh, that is really good.
Are they other? He's
The
that.
what now?
The other.
Cauliflower soup, I don't know what it is really.
I don't know which soup that was.
That was, and then Monday's soup was good too. I don't remember what
Well, you're
else.
getting beans then. They're in the soup. And lentils.
You can puree your beans and put them in your soup.
You'll never know.
Yes.
Okay, does anybody else want to share more dinner stuff? This is because when we got down here, we started going into the dinner. Does anybody have any, or do you eat the same thing for lunch as you eat for dinner? Do you eat?
Yeah,
Well,
it's back and forth.
I've been eating beans several nights. I mean,
Okay,
I'll eat
good.
beans, you know, I eat like a black bean or a red bean. I also like the white beans,
Yes, good.
but I put stuff in it.
Good.
I love leeks. I've
Oh,
learned to
yeah, I do
eat
too.
leeks, and I love them.
They're so
I put the
silky, so
leeks
soft.
in- Put the leeks in with the beans, and I put carrots in them sometimes. It just depends on what but I've been eating a lot more beans.
Good. Anybody else?
I
We
usually have-
sometimes eat those rotisserie chickens, so I didn't put it.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay. I usually have either fish or chicken at dinner, and either brown rice or quinoa.
Yeah, I
And
have
steamed
Oh,
brown
vegetables.
rice.
quinoa, I've been eating
I
quinoa.
have brown rice.
Do you have vegetables too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Steamed vegetables.
Okay, now, are you all eating a lot differently than you used to?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Have you noticed some changes in your body, like regularity and?
If I have something I shouldn't, boy, I know it. If not pretty
Yes.
immediately, I know it the next morning. I just feel
Uh-huh,
terrible.
I do
wake
too.
up feeling awful. It's like, oh, I ate something I shouldn't.
Yes,
have. Today, what did I
yep.
eat?
Are you reaching your goals? I mean, are you getting what you want out of this?
Oh, I've lost 10 pounds since I've started.
Put that up
And I've only got 6 more pounds to go, and I'll have my weight.
Okay.
So
I've
I
dropped
think
20
that's pretty good.
since beginning of September. I can't wait to jump on the scale because I want to see if it's moved any. I'm getting a little obsessed with it, but for me, that's kind of how I have to retrain and refocus to do that.
What's interesting about eating this way is if you need to lose weight, you lose weight. If you need to gain weight, you gain weight.
It's like your body just knows.
Yeah, and you get to your ideal weight and you just stay there. You don't deviate very much. Everybody else? I mean, are you
I've lost 20, actually.
really
From when I-
great?
first started, yes.
Fantastic.
I started in April, I lost 33 pounds.
33? Golly. Does everybody, do they know this here?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're keeping track of.
They are?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
keeping track. Because periodically, they'll ask us to weigh,
Mm-hmm.
and
And they didn't weigh me when I first started, so they didn't weigh me until like 2 weeks later. So that's why it's not official, but when
But you know,
I first,
that's what
yeah,
matters.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So is everybody satisfied?
oh yeah.
You feeling like you're getting educated?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm learning something all the time, and I'll try it, and if I don't like exactly what I try it again and retry
Right.
it till I figure it out.
Are you all cooking more than you cooked before?
I'm having to cook in bigger batches.
Uh-huh.
I'm cooking more beans, yeah.
I feel like I'm,
Simple.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
cooking less, but it's only because I feel so much more limited on what I can be cooking
Yes.
right now. So for me, I'd love to cook. I'd spend a whole day cooking. I'd make like freezer meals and everything else, but I was also making a lot of not so good for you freezer meals, casseroles and things that I just don't make that anymore. I don't make it for my kids either. I just haven't made it because if I make it, I want it. So,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. That's the best way to deal with this. Well, I'm gonna tell you next week. Okay, now we're getting the rest of our, like the next two classes that we have, we're going to be getting more into the mind. We've done, I can see you all got it with the food and how to prepare it, and so now we're going to get into overcoming the mind. And I'll just tell you, this next week is going to be a movie, and it's Dr. Lyle provides a fascinating new perspective on how modern life can turn so many smart, savvy people into the unwitting saboteurs of their own well-being. Based on a recent revolution in motivational psychology, the Pleasure Trap lectures provide you with solutions for challenges of keeping on a healthful course and how to make the most of your life. This is, everybody I've shown this to loves this. This is remember when I went into the motivational triad, seeking of pleasure, avoidance of pain, conservation of energy? Well, this is all around that. And he goes in, it's really, it's very eye-opening, very interesting. And then the next week we go into but then we go deeper. So are you all enjoying this course?
Yes.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good, well thank you.